Hi everybody, it's Chris Rock back out here on the Louisiana Grill's patio, and today we're going to be making brisket strata. Okay, so let's get going on our strata. And strata is a little different than a quiche or a frittata. Not like a quiche where it's made in a pie shell or a frittata where you have a bread base. Actually, a strata is chopped up bread, and really any kind of bread, but chopped up bread with all the ingredients mixed in with some egg and some heavy cream for a binder. So the bread that I use a little bit of brioche and I use a little bit of French roll chopped up, about 10 or 12 ounces. I always save about a pound of brisket every time I make brisket because I know I'm going to be making strata the next day. So next time you make brisket, grab a big chunk, save about a pound of it, and it'll be a great breakfast the next day. Heirloom tomatoes sliced in half, some cheese, some of our Louisiana Grill's black truffle rub, and some really, really nice thin sliced Mexican onions. The way to start this recipe is with 15 whole eggs. Now I know that sounds like a lot of eggs, it's more than a dozen, but 15 eggs is really what you need for this. And then we're going to add in some heavy cream. I use 2 to 3 cups of heavy cream, probably a little more heavy cream than most people use, but it does give a nice consistency to the strata after you mix it with the eggs. So we're going to whisk in the heavy cream and the eggs together. Get them nice and whisked all the way through. So essentially what you're sort of making here is a custard. So once we've whisked that all in together, nice and combined, we're going to add in the Louisiana Grill's black truffle rub. And I'm going to use about my tablespoon, which is about that much for me. We'll mix that on through. All right, and we've got our egg mixture and cream ready to go, ready to add to the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to start out with our cast iron pan. This is a 10-inch cast iron pan. Now, if you don't have a cast iron pan at home, glass dish, aluminum foil pan, whatever you have will work. But the nice thing about the cast iron is it'll get nice even heat distribution as we bake our strata. You want to take some release spray, spray the pan down real well. And once we've got our pan sprayed down complete, we're going to add our bread. And this is the same bread, like I said, a little bit of brioche, a little bit of French bread, and we're just going to add it right into the pan. Sort of spread this out, get it to cover nice and evenly across the pan. Next come the tomatoes. Now these little heirloom tomatoes are fantastic. You can use grape tomatoes, you can use cherry tomatoes. I like to use them. They give a lot of different color and they really, really taste great. They're in season all year round. You can pick them up at most any grocery store or even at your farmer's market. I'll just take these and sort of sprinkle them evenly across the top of the bread. And you want to kind of get them evenly spread out so that when it's time to have breakfast, everybody will get a bite. Next is that pound of brisket that I saved. This is what really makes this strata different than most others. You can make strata with ham, you can make it with asparagus, you can make it with just about any leftover meat that you might have. But the brisket gives it a nice smoky, very, very different flavor than you'd get from a normal strata. Take that brisket and you just spread it out evenly across the pan, much as you did the tomatoes. Again, you want to make sure everybody gets a bite of brisket in their piece of strata, or at least 2 or 3 bites of brisket. Once we've got our brisket added, the next thing that we're going to add is we're going to add some green onion. This is Mexican onion. When you see them in the store, their bulbs are a little bit bigger. You can certainly use regular green onion. Just want to get a nice even dice on them, nice and uniform so they'll cook up evenly along with the rest of the dish. Okay, got our green onion in. Now we're going to add some cheese. So I use a shredded Cheddar Jack cheese, about a cup and a half. Again, you just want to get it cover the entire top of the strata. I use Monterey Jack and Cheddar shredded separately, and I do a real fine shred on them so that they'll melt evenly and melt right all the way through the strata. Just when you thought you were done with the cheese, well, I've got a little bit of Swiss cheese because I love Swiss cheese, and it's going to make a nice bubbly brown on the top of our strata as it cooks. All right, all the cheese in, everything in. Now, all those eggs that we whisked together, with the heavy cream, we're going to come back and we're going to pour this down through. And just pour it very slowly. And what this is going to do, it's going to mix down into the bread and into all the vegetable. And it's going to essentially be the binder for this dish. So here we are with our strata. We've got all of our ingredients in. We've got our cream and egg mixture in, cheese on the top. So we're going to go into the grill at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Let's go in and see what we've got. And that's what we're looking for, that golden brown top. Pick comes out clean as a whistle, done all the way through. The cream, the cheese, eggs, the bread, everything working together to give us a nice firm strata. The brisket in there, this is going to taste fantastic. Last thing, a little bit of chive for garnish. Give it some nice color. Who wouldn't want to have that for breakfast? All right, so let's cut a piece of this. All that release spray did its job. That doesn't look any good, does it? And there you have it, brisket strata, not a frittata. Enjoy this. We'll all see you all again soon on the Louisiana Grill's patio.